welcome to another episode of Bud Mashers, and today we're talking again about Randy Pitchford. Hi. I don't know what's up with this guy, literally. I'll be honest, I did one other video of Randy Pitchford where he said if you're a true fan, you get Borderlands CEO, and I think get Borderlands 4. My bad, not Borderlands CEO. Might as well be Borderlands CEO because he's on a Borderlands of bankrupting his own franchise. But anyways, so he said that he has no control. And you know what? I understand that. And thinking about it, because I said in my last video, he could have tried to negotiate with the board. But at the end of the day, who knows? Maybe the board shut down the idea, and even if he tried to negotiate, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. So it's sort of that thing. But I think the second part that really, I think, got everyone mad, especially me, was like, oh, if you're the true fan part, especially where he was like, oh, yeah, back in my day when I was in high school, I got Sega Genesis game for $80 working in an ice cream shop. Okay, boomer. And I think it's been downhill from there. Most of the Borderlands games have, other than ULA, I think the ULA didn't help, but also Randy Pitchford's comments really drove down the sort of ratings of the games, because even not just like Borderlands or Tiny Tina's Wonderland, every single one I've noticed, because I was looking this, and I was sort of curious, were all the Borderland games from like 2 to Tiny Tina's Wonderland on Steam got like mostly negative reviews. And I think the ULA didn't help, but I think games like Civ, which is also owned by 2K Entertainment, they didn't have much of the negative press as Borderlands had, or negative reviews. So I'm wondering if those comments didn't help Randy's situation, and because I'm assuming the ULAs are all the same. That's under my assumption. But at the end of the day, I don't think Randy Pitchford's first comment helped. It's going to get worse, and I'm going to get into it. And it's already 2:40 something. And anyways, welcome to Bum Mashers. I'm your host, Mateo Young, if I didn't say that before, because I went on a tangent. Anyways, let's go with his new comments. So if any of you know or care, Tiny Tina's Wonderland is free on Epic and on sale on Steam. I got the free version on Epic, and I'll be honest, it's a fun game. I just don't think it's worth the original price. I ran into a few bugs. The character creator is ugly as your characters don't look good. They're kind of ugly, and I understand now the whole yellow paint thing. I mean, I understand it a little bit, but I really didn't buy that many AAA games because I usually play Final Fantasy XIV or Guild Wars 2, so I really didn't understand. Like, I knew it was annoyance, but now I see it. It's freaking annoying, and it's immersion breaking. Like, one, why would your enemies put yellow paint to help you in an area, and two, the yellow paint, it's so disjoining because you got this like medieval setting, and then there's this yellow paint all over, and it's like, I'm starting to finally see that point. And I'll be honest, if you get it for free, or if you want to get it for free or on sale, that's your best route, because it's like I'll be honest, it's like for looter shooter, it's pretty fun, but there's a lot of drawbacks too that I think doesn't, worth the original tag, which is $60. I do not think it's worth $60, I'll be honest. That's my thoughts on that. So it's like I said, it's on sale on Steam and Epic, and this is what Randy Pitchford had to say. It says, and this is from Eurogamer, Film Slam Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford for message to cost-sensitive fan. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford has doubled down on comments about the cost of Borderlands 4 by inviting cost-sensitive fans to download Tiny Tina's World from Epic's game stores for free. Which, okay, I understand why you would put like a Borderlands game like Tiny Tina's Wonderland as sort of free advertisement. That I can understand. Here's where the shitstorm happens. The latest comment comes after Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford made headlines about comments that real fans would find a way to get their hands on a copy of a game even if it came to a $80 price tag. He later tried justifying it, all while saying pricing was not his call. And I'll be honest, it may not be his call. I already said it earlier, but I digress on that point. In late social media, Pitchford wrote the word free 4 times in each block caps. And this is what it says. For real fans who may be cost sensitive, the very awesome and incredibly fun smash hit video game Tiny Tina's Wonderland is free this week on Epic Game Store. Pitch wrote, please enjoy this free gift by grabbing your free copy here free. Aforementioned real fans are quick to respond to the comment, and you don't get to just walk back incredibly tone deaf to world around you. We are already out here struggling, Randy. Dude, you need to shut up already. No reason games should be $80, especially if it's anything like 3 or this shit ass excuse of a movie. And here's the thing. I'll be honest, it's very tone deaf, the first part, and this, secondly, I'll be honest, feels like a slap in the face. And maybe, I don't know if Randy Pitchford intended it to be, but someone should have stepped in and said, hey, dude, reword this, because this sounds like a slap in the face, especially after you said real fans would get the game for $80. Like, I think someone should have stepped in, but this is what happens when you get people with free reign on social media. And honestly, I would just word it as, hey guys, our smash hit Tiny Tina's Wonderland is free on Epic Game Stores if you want to pick it up and try it out. And would have left it as that. And if people would have lambasted him in a comment, there's nothing you do, but just, you shouldn't be throwing kerosene on a fire you already started. Because it still sounds really tone deaf, because the reason why people are being price conscious is because, one, people, we're really in unknown times, I'll be honest, and everyone's struggling. Two, most of the AAA games have been crap. And from my understanding, Borderlands 3, I really haven't played it. That may be next on my list. But that was a bad game too, Borderlands 3, from what people said. And Tiny Tina's Wonderland, I'll be honest, it's a good gunner game, but it falls short in a lot of categories. And so far where I got to is a great idea. I just think the whole game was poor execution, in my opinion. So I could understand how people would be like, yeah, we ain't picking this up. And then also, from my understanding, this is what Borderlands, the microtransaction Borderlands 3 has. This is the DLC. You got Season Pass 1 and 2. You got 2 Season Passes. One for $50, this is the Steam prices, and one for $30. So I can understand where people like, I ain't paying $80 and have to pay more for Season Passes and stuff. I think many corporations, not just Gearbox, think that they're sort of the Nintendo of video games, where they sort of have a good reputation, or at least semi-good reputation, and have, crazy ass fans who will buy anything they put out, which, one, that's not the case. All these brands literally botch this shit up by attacking their fans and having people who have contentious relationships with their fans run their accounts. Listen to their fans. I mean, Nintendo won so far up to now by doing nothing and letting everyone else make those mistakes. The final thing is the non-apology. This was on May 28th. It says, I'm sorry, there was a misunderstanding. The absolute truth is that I don't want anyone to pay and more any more than they should or are comfortable with. And I always work with the intent to hope that the customer always feel they got the better end of the deal no matter what they pay. The actual context was that the guy replied to a post about Borderlands for be on a Nintendo Switch 2 was warning that if the price ends up being $88, the game will fail. What I was trying to explain that it wasn't my call, but that if a $10 price increase does happen, since that's obviously where the industry is going, I will it will be okay, and that Borderlands will be okay because it's a great game, and there are a lot of fans who will see the value and want it. First off, the only thing I can agree with him is where he said the actual context was the guy replying to a post about Borderlands 4 on Nintendo Switch. The thing is with Nintendo is they've been raising their prices, so I can understand with the post now being it was definitely out of his control for the Switch. Um, I don't know about the PC right now, but time will tell. Who knows? But definitely with the Switch, it's going to be either 80 for the digital and 90 for the cartridge, and then all the DLC that comes with it. And then he goes on. Where was that? I think my trying to shorthand the phrase "real fans" triggered some people, and I saw that it got inflated as if it was making some big statement. I wasn't. I was just trying to help someone who I thought was sincerely worried about us and looking out for us. And I could see that it was being pressed into the idea that I was talking about the audience for granted, which is a super shitty look, but it was not all my intention and does not reflect how I feel. But here's the issue. You said in your last statement, Mr. Boomer, if you were a real fan, you bought it. I bought the Sega game when I worked in an ice cream shop in high school. Yeah, that does sound out of touch, my dude. And it does sound like you're attacking the fans. He should have led with the fact that if it was on Switch 2, it would have been $80. I feel like he should have, if that was his intention, he should have thought about it before he posted the whole thing. But it feels like a really non apology to cover his ass. And he goes on. The sincere truth is that I'm grateful that anyone likes our games and humbled that so many fans showed up to enjoy and support what we do. As an artist, I do not want prices to go up because I want everyone to have access to what I create. I get that business is a thing and that the market and economy are driving up prices. Sooner or later, we're going to have to all adapt to that so that the creative engine can make at least as much as it spends to provide us with amazing content. Okay. I understand, yes, everything's going up. That I can't disagree with. But the problem is with the AAA industry is it went from 70 to 80 in just 1 year. Even that good. Most companies shut down, and I think especially with them being raised to 80, most of the companies laying off employees and shutting down divisions and studios. I feel like many gamers feel like they have to pay the price for the company's incompetence. The prices, because at the end of the day, companies have to go to their shareholders and be like, "Hey, we got the price and the stocks up, so praise our shareholders and don't put our heads in the meat cannon." Because at the end of the day, many companies are chasing this never-ending growth, but that's what it is. I can't change that. And it says, I'm here to entertain people. My pro was always been trying to add some joy and happiness to creative world. To whatever extent I succeed at that, I'm grateful and honored and take on every effort with passion and humility. Sure, Linda, sure. And I own all the cheese in a Swiss bank. May I recommend you consider the people who create entertainment you enjoy are actual real people who sincerely are working trying to make cool stuff. I have dedicated my whole life to video games as entertainment, and I have made the choice to be accessible on here. Okay, yes, okay. Here's the thing. Yes, I get that there people are created. Everyone like on here is human. But the problem is if you're gonna act stupid on the internet and say stupid shit like if you're a real fan and have a really out of touch take, people are gonna call you out. That's just the way the internet works. Especially since an asinine take as he had right now, right before with the real fans and back when he worked in a freaking ice cream shop in freaking high school. Like, bro, that's very out of touch. That was how many years ago? And the world was different so many years ago. Like, I feel like this is a fucking okay boomer moment. Really. Here's the thing. I'll be honest, I don't see a problem with giving person constructive criticism, especially if you wanna. And if they're not saying he's super shit on the internet, then no one should bother them. But Randy Pitchford and many other of these creatives, whether it be through movies, Rachel Zegler, Mark Hamill, um, the whole Genshin VA troop drama, the problem is they're all lighting their own fires. They're causing trouble on the internet, and then when people essentially clap clap back or speak back, they're like, "Oh, woe with me, I'm the victim." Blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not. You started this shit. Fiery Italianness is coming out. But anyways, then he goes on. I I have made the choice to be accessible on here. I don't want to let edge cases ruin that for the majority of people who found value in using this medium for a positive connection. But I cannot help that there's a part of me that doesn't want to at least try to help those that didn't get it to gain some perspective and some dignity in how they choose to interact. You mean how you chose to interact too, Linda? Like this, I can't. This is definitely a non-apology. I'm not claiming I'm perfect. No one is, but I don't deserve any less latitude than anyone else. I choose to think of others with the most amount of charity, and am often surprised to discover some that jump to the worst possible way to consider a thing as doing that is just counter to my nature. He should have posted his non-apology. He could have just said, "Hey, look, it's not." He could have made a post that said, "Hey, look, it's not my call on a Switch version." If because at the end of the day, Switch, is going to charge their price because that's Nintendo, and they were planning on anyway. But I think on this whole sob story, like, woe is me, no. Here's some perspective for your ass. You need perspective, my dude. I understand, first of all, yes, there may be some people taking to stream, and that I can't just, I don't, I say that's wrong, but people are telling you that you are making an out of touch take, especially when you were in high school, living with your freaking parents at a at your first job at the freaking ice cream shop, saving up for a game on a system that had, like, I guess, more pixelated graphics. Because I'll be honest, I really, I really love the games with sort of the NES aesthetic or the less realistic aesthetic because it's too realistic. But anyways, and for $80, it was a good, solid game, not the crap that's being produced today. Like, I don't know I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, and I'm a gamer, and I know this. It feels like this is just an out of touch, okay, boomer moment. I might as well call him Boomer Randy Pitchford because he's acting like one. This whole thing that I read God bless if you're staying into the 20-minute mark. I thank you. But the whole thing I read at the end of the day is that, you know what? It's just, like I said, a non apology, and he should never posted it because now it just makes him look a lot worse. Like, if anything, he should have just kept his mouth shut because sometimes silence is better. Just I don't know, go build some Legos, go touch grass, go play all the games that you like, or, do something other than be on the internet and opening up your mouth and causing more trouble. I think this is something in general that all industries are going to have to reckon with soon. Is having people who have no restraint when it comes to social media, ruining essentially their products. And I mean, I'll be honest, if you're in Randy Pitchfork's position and you're a CEO, then, maybe it's different because it's your company. But at the end of the day, you got people who have no restraint when it comes to social media. And, I'm guilty of it sometimes too, I'll be honest. But they show no restraint, and they're out there ruining the products. I mean, look at Rachel Zegler with Snow White. I mean, if the movie wasn't gonna sell already, I mean, Rachel Zegler didn't help. That's sort of the curse of social media in general. And I hope in the future, many companies in general, not just video gaming, but like movies, TV, essentially have a clause that helps muzzle the people on social media. Because at the end of the day, in general, you can't have people acting like dingbats online and then expect sales. That's not how it works. Anyways, if you stayed with this song, God bless you, and thank you. Happy gaming. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.